Good evening and welcome to the programme. Tube and bus fares are going up above the rate of inflation. In the new year, you'll be paying on average 7% more than now. The rise cements the capital's place as one of the most expensive cities in the world for public transport. The Mayor says the increases are necessary to fund TfL's investment programme. Well, our transport correspondent Tom Edwards is here with the details. Tom.
Yes, Riz, these increases will mean a painful rise in the amount Londoners spend getting around the capital. An Oyster single bus fare goes up from £1.30 to £1.40. A Zone 1 to 4 one-day travel card goes up from £10 to £10.80. And a weekly Zone 1 to 5 travel card goes up over 8% from £47 to £50.80. And the Mayor had warned he'd stick to his formula over fares, inflation plus 2%, 7% on average. He was true to his word, but Londoners are still angry.
It's pretty tough for Londoners at the moment. I mean, I want to use public transport and the price keeps going up and up and up. It's tougher and tougher, really.
It's ridiculous how much it's going up. It's not even moving in line with inflation. I mean, everyone's already worse off and times are just getting worse for us all.
Transport at the moment is very comfortable. It's very safe. It's very convenient and easy to use. What more development did they need to do?
No, they don't give anything money, but what can we do about it? Nothing, so just carry on.
The Mayor says he needs the money to protect investment in infrastructure and provide badly needed capacity. The tube upgrades, Crossrail, will provide more of that, but most of it won't be finished for years. And critics say the Mayor has reduced revenue by scrapping the western extension of the congestion charging zone and say he's spent too much on what they call vanity projects like the new bus for London.
This is the most high-tech piece of motoring technology I've ever seen.
And transport organisations say London's already expensive enough.
This increase in prices could simply price people off the network and they're going to be inclined to choose a car, or they might simply be priced off public transport into not being able to access their jobs, not being able to get to education, or simply not being able to access the public services that they need.
The reality is passengers are paying now for future improvements to the system. And with regular breakdowns and packed carriages and buses, that's a hard sell to Londoners. Comparing the tube to other cities, a single here next year will cost £2. New York subway costs the equivalent of £1.60. On the Paris Metro, a single's £1.50. Public transport in London is amongst the most expensive in the world, and the worry for passengers is there seems little chance of that changing. Riz.
Tom, thanks very much. Well, let's talk now to our political editor, Tim Donovan, about this. And Tim, of course, mayoral elections next year. Fare rises are sensitive politically, aren't they?
Always an awkward announcement to make. From his point of view, it's probably sensible to make that announcement now, 8 months away from the election, although commuters will be reminded, won't they, from January the 1st when these fare rises come into force. He hadn't given himself much choice because he has always made such a thing about giving TfL a guaranteed income stream with this formula, as Tom said, of 2% above inflation, whatever the rate of inflation was. Although he says his predecessor, of course, Ken Livingstone, had used the fare box for pre-election giveaways.
When you look at it, you simply have to make sure that you have the investment stream that you need. And what you can't do is get into kind of pre-electoral artificial slamming on of the brakes and trying to con people into believing that fares aren't going to go up at all.
And what are the Mayor's political opponents saying, Tim?
Well, that he has added to the misery of commuters, that these fare rises are eye-watering, that it's a stealth tax. There's been a lot of questioning of his decision-making. He makes a big thing about freezing his share of the council tax for the last 3 years. That's, political motivation, if you like. But here we have another big hit on commuters on the fare box.
I think they should be at least pegging the fare increases to the rate of inflation, but inflation-busting increases every year are really a stealth tax on Londoners.
Now, TfL have told me this evening that in fact they're going to be underspent by £250 million this year, and yet these fare rises are going ahead. They insist that is because work has been rephased. The money will get spent, but that will raise further questions about the decision-making here.
Tim, many thanks. Our political editor, Tim Donovan. So how will the increases affect you? Do you think they're right to help fund the investment in the transport network, or do you think you're already paying enough? Do get in touch with us. You can email us at yourlondon@bbc.co.uk, or you can get in touch on Facebook or on Twitter. Plenty more to come tonight, including